Lancemaster is a new class of Lost Ark, which without any doubt will be very popular here in the West. And since I have played this class a lot in the past, especially in Korea, I can confirm to you that Lancemaster is performing very good in PvE and on decent way in PvP. Since we have finally get officially translated names for skills and engravings for Lancemaster, in today's video you will see which engraving and skills are best to use to be able to get maximum damage and in generally best performance out of this class. Before we start, let me just say subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. As you can see, I am already here on official website of Lost Ark, and I'm here to check this post, which is actually a really nice post from Amazon Games. But before I show you anything regarding engravings and skills, I need to show you main mechanics, main dynamic for this class, and that is swapping between weapons. So you can see here two stances, Flurry and Focus. So basically, Flurry stance is a stance of a main weapon, Glaive, and Focus is another stance of secondary weapon, Spear. And when you are actually swapping, when you are changing weapons, you're getting specific kind of buff. All depends, of course, on dual meter, on which level you have that dual meter, 1, 2, or 3. What kind of buff you actually get. So let's check first that swapping between Flurry and Focus, swapping between Glaive and Spear, what kind of buff you actually get. This is very important because you will see later that has influence depending on which engraving you are actually using. So first, swapping between Flurry to Focus. So that means you're swapping between, you have your main weapon Glaive, you're swapping to secondary weapon Spear. Dual meter level 1 grants a 5% move speed bonus. Dual meter level 2 grants 10% move speed and 10% damage bonus. And dual meter level 3, which is actually that point where you want to swap weapon, on dual meter level 3, grants 15% move speed, 10% damage and 25% critical damage bonus. So this is the key here. You should swap weapon during dual meter level 3, right? For that level. Because if you swap earlier for a level 1 or 2, your buff will not be that high, right? Let's check now swapping in opposite direction, right? From Spear to Glaive. So dual meter level 1 grants 5% attack speed bonus, which is actually pretty nice. Dual meter level 2 grants 10% attack speed and 10% damage bonus. And dual meter level 3, again, best bonus of course, 15% attack speed, 10% damage and 25% crit damage bonus. So again, you should swap when you have level 3 of this dual meter. So this is main mechanic of this class, swapping between weapons. And this swapping between weapons and getting this buff is working only if you are using one engraving, this one, upper one. So they have finally translated names of engravings. We have here Pinnacle. So when you use Pinnacle engraving, this swapping will work. However, if you use Control engraving, which you probably won't use, I'll talk about that in a minute, and then you cannot do this swapping, right? You cannot get this buff. Instead of that buff, you will actually get another thing. You'll be able only to use your main weapon, so only Glaive, but you will get damage buff. I will show you what is happening here. Not a fan of stance swapping, but still want to play Glaivier, or whatever we pronounce this class. I mean, I will never get used to this name, to be honest. I will call this class Lancemaster forever, probably. So, yeah. This is the engraving for you. So, if you don't want to swap between stances, between weapons. Control disables the focus stance, so you cannot use red skills, you cannot use Spear, but increases the damage of Flurry skills by 18% at level 1, 27% at level 2 and 36% at level 3. While you'll have access to fewer skills because you can use only blue skills, not red ones, and no swapping for bonuses, this damage increase will help your pack a punch. So actually this stance, I mean, when you look at like this, right, this is pretty nice increase in damage. And when you look at like this, why wouldn't you use a control stance? Well, the thing is next, right? So this bonus, this buff, you can forget about this. And all the major meta builds from Korea are basically using that normal stance, I would say, not stance, normal engraving, pinnacle. So most of the builds from Korea are going for this, for swapping weapons, right? For using both weapons, main and secondary, not for this control engraving. You need to decide for yourself. I already made video like maybe a few days back, actually a week. You can check on my YouTube channel that video regarding specific skills of this class, and I will show you a little bit later here skills of this class. I mean, of course, it looks even logical, right? Why wouldn't you use blue skills and red skills and get that buff? However, I mean, you can try to play with control engraving. However, most of the players in Korea and most of the meta builds in Korea are going for this pinnacle engraving. So, continuing and enhancing the stance swapping nature of Glaivier, the pinnacle engraving replaces the dual meter stage 3 effect, granting increasingly powerful bonuses as you progresses throughout the 3 levels of engravings. So yeah, that's basically simple as that, right? So regarding engravings, I think that situation is really clear. If you want to use only one weapon, only blue skills, and get increase in damage, you will use this engraving here, control, right? That is officially translated from Amazon Games. If you want to use both weapons and both skills, right, red ones and blue ones, then you will use this one. So that's pretty clear. Regarding skills of this class, I have already studied this post, a really good work from Amazon Games and Smilegate RPG. They have provided for us a full translation of skills for this class, right? You can see here in front of you for both weapons, for a glaive and for spear. And I will just today focus, I have recognized some translations basically have remained the same. I will tell you which skills are like mandatory over there in Korea. Other skills, well, you can decide for yourself, you know, you need to feel under the fingers, how does it feel for you, right? Whatever I say in today's video doesn't need to mean anything because you need to try to play this class for yourself and then to decide which engraving you will use. Doesn't matter what people say, what is meta, right? And which skills, of course, but I will just tell you in generally which skills are like most of the people are using over there in Korea and which are mandatory, which I have used mostly in the past. So we have here translations of the skills. Let's start with double strike, wind splinter, first skill here. Okay, I recognize this name. I have used this skill for sure. So this skill, one of the mandatory skills over there in Korea and to use here in the West probably. Wheel of blades, and then we have, yeah, this is mandatory, flash kick here and volt stick. So I will not go into details today. You can check, like I said, my video from like maybe a few days back where I go into details of each one of these skills. Check that video regarding Lance Master. Today, just in generally, which skills are best to use, right? Blue Dragon's Claw, I can't remember, I can't say I remember this one. Half Moon Slash, yes. Absolutely, yes, you need to use this one. Then we have Chain Slash, Cutting Wind, Soul Cutter, Raging Dragon Slash, Spear Dive, and Shackling Blue Dragon. Out of these few skills here, Chain Slash and Cutting Wind probably would be mandatory. Also this one, Raging Dragon Slash. Out of focus stance skills, these here skills are now red ones for your spear, secondary weapon. We have here this one. Four-headed dragon, I remember I have used this one a lot. What else do we have here? This one here, a red dragon horn, absolutely yes. And I didn't see here Volt. Did I skip somewhere? Probably I didn't. Maybe they have translated something differently because I remember Volt skill, that was name of the skill over there in Korea, right? So I'm not sure, to be honest, did they translate exactly, or will they translate the same, right? Everything but Volt should be the name of the skill, which you should also use. So regarding the skills, I mean, same like for awakening skills. They have also put here translations regarding 2 awakening skills. And to be honest, which one to use? Well, all depends on your gameplay style. All depends on which engraving you will use. Here you can see 2 awakening skills. And I will not tell you here, use this one is better. No. Just try out both of them, and also of course everything depends on which engraving you are using. Then you will decide which one of these awakening skills you will use. Engravings of Lancemaster, as you can see, are main thing about this class. Everything depends how will you play, right? Which engraving you will decide to use, and then on your gameplay style. Will you swap between weapons, glaive and spear, or will you use maybe one weapon, glaive? So I think I was pretty clear, and basically this post from Amazon Games, they have done this on really good way. I will put a link in the description below video so you can check this post for yourself. And also I want to add one more thing here, because I have noticed, where it is, oh, here it is. Feiton Power Pass, probably you have heard about that. With release of new class Lancemaster, we will also get new Power Pass Feiton 960 completely for free. Basically how you get this Power Pass, just to tell you that, so I will not read to you all of this text. It's pretty simple. You need to finish Feiton part of the story in the game with at least one character, and if you have already done that with some of the character in the past, probably you have, right? You will get your Power Pass, Feiton Power Pass immediately, automatically, for free when you enter the game. That's it, simple as that. However, don't forget, you don't need to use your Feiton Power Pass on your Lancemaster. Maybe you want to save it for Destroyer, or maybe you can use it on some other third class, new character, right? So, Feiton Power Pass will take you to gear score 960, which is actually pretty nice. That means that you are pretty close to tier 3, and you can check dedicated video on my YouTube channel how to reach that gear score 1100 tier 3, which materials and how many of materials you will need. You can check that video within last 48 hours, 24 hours on my YouTube channel. So that's it for today's video, and I hope I can manage to help you with explaining what is happening here with this dynamics of this class. Basically, it's pretty simple, and I have to say, you have to try to play this class. This is one really enjoyable class to play, and I have no doubt if you try to play it, if you like to play classes which are not squishy, I wouldn't say tanky, but for sure not squishy, with decent performance in PvE and in PvP, you will enjoy in playing this class. Let me know in the comments below video, how do you like Lancemaster from information we have so far about it, and will you try to play it, or maybe you'll wait for release of Destroyer in May. If you are interested into Lost Ark, check my YouTube channel for lots of gameplay videos, guides for new players, and news from World of Lost Ark. Thank you for watching the video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. See you soon.